you get to me once now, baby, but I'll never let you win the game. I'll let you get to me once now, baby.
Welcome everyone to the AFH platform. Today we have a super cool guest here at AFH. His name is Zach Bourne, known as the dating coach in New York, but right now he's in Thailand and we're super excited to get this started. Zach, how are you today?
I am feeling fantastic. How are you?
Good. We're really happy to have you on. I know a lot of our listeners are going to gain so much value from hearing you talk. I'm a super big fan of yours.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. So, describe yourself. Like, what do you do? What does Zach do?
So I am a personal development and dating coach, and I help a lot of people, find that special someone in their life. I help them really increase their self-love and inner value, and I really try to help people transform their lives in a really profound way.
That is beautiful. I feel like everybody needs to find you and see your posts and just everything that you do, because there's so many people in the world that need a dating coach.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome. I'm just going to flourish you with comments because I'm super excited to have you on here.
Thank you so much.
How did you get started? So how did the dating coach, how did you decide to get into this profession?
So, it really started from personal development 13, almost 14 years ago. I really, my first 17, 18 years of my life, I was really kind of a depressed person. And, I was in therapy and medication and, all this stuff. And I couldn't really find my way, and no one could really tell me how to feel better and or even what the point was. But I came to New York and I went to acting school, funny enough, and one of my professors got me into personal development, and that really changed my life. I jumped in with both feet, and over the years I've read hundreds of books and thousands of hours of application and thousands of hours of audio, just trying everything I could. And I've been the happiest person I know for probably over a decade now. So I've been really lucky. And so I really like helping people. I started helping people do the same as a general personal development coach. But I noticed people just kept coming to me for dating, and I was having a lot of success with it. And I was getting a ton of success with my clients, even just after, a handful or even one session. And I was like, well, maybe I should double down on this because my clients are really loving it. It's something that a lot of people struggle with or could use help with. And I just think it's a really exciting topic. I think people are really interesting.
Absolutely. I feel as though the dating world has changed tremendously in the last, 10 years. And having somebody guide them step by step, I wouldn't have a single clue about. I've been married forever, and I would have no clue of how to even enter this dating jungle world, I like to call it. So.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people worry about it, and they think it's hard, that it's going to be difficult, or they have that perspective that it will be. And it doesn't have to be. It can actually be easy. I think people just have to approach it a little differently than they have been.
Well, with somebody like you talking like that, you can convince anybody, a blind person, to buy glasses. So definitely, if you guys are having dating issues or anything like that, I'm going to link his bio below. But I have to ask, who influenced you for this dating, to become a dating coach? Did you just wake up? I know you touched upon your clients really asking you for this product, but when was the moment that you decided, you know what, this is it, this is what I'm going to do, and this is the gift I've been awarded in life?
Well, it's interesting because there's really not a lot of dating coaches that are out there. There's not a lot. And so I didn't really have anyone specific to influence from. Of course, I'm a big Abraham Hicks fan, and I'm big into personal development of all kinds. It's funny because the things that'll help you the most with your dating life are not dating things. They're just straight personal development stuff. Having more self-confidence, self-love, having more appreciation for yourself, being worth the relationship that you want. is huge. You know, so many people think it's just about like going out there, looking good and finding the right person. But it's really not about finding the right person. It's really about becoming the right person so that the right person can be attracted to you easily. So for me, really making that inner transformation and seeing just how powerful this stuff could be or has been on my own life really is what inspired me to help other people and to get into this really deeply. Yeah.
You touched upon. Sorry, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Yeah, it's all right.
You touched upon something really interesting that you said. It's not about looking a certain way, but it's about like working on yourself to attract that perfect mate. Can you like elaborate just a bit on that for those who I caught exactly what you were saying, but for somebody that may not understand what that means.
So many people don't realize is it's really about what's going on inside you, because relationship dynamics, it's all about the energy, it's all about what you're thinking, it's all about what's going on inside you, because that's really where it comes from. So for instance, if someone doesn't feel worth someone, so say you like someone, you're dating them, but you feel like they're better than you in a sort of subconscious feeling way, right? You just feel like they're better than you. You will, and you don't feel like you're worth them. You're going to start acting weird. It's kind of like, for instance, like, do you ever have that experience where I don't know if you remember back in like middle school or high school when you talk to someone that you really like and think is really cool, but then you can't seem to get the words out, or or you talk too much or too fast and you start acting real weird, starts acting kind of strange. I remember I have done a lot of that, especially when I was younger. People I thought that were, better than me or wouldn't like me, I couldn't be myself. And that's because we don't actually feel worth it. So the internal world, right, how we think about ourselves on the inside really impacts everything. It impacts the way we talk to people. It impacts the way we dress, the way we think about ourselves. If we don't feel like, if we feel like we look good, we start looking good.
Yeah.
Right? If we deeply start feeling like on the inside that we look good, we feel sexy, you become sexy, you are sexy. So I tell people that all the time. So really it's just about changing that internal thing going on. And a lot of people try to do it just through effort, just through going out there and sort of pounding the pavement, as opposed to making the internal changes first. And I'll give you another personal example from my life. There was a summer, and I think I went on 30 first dates, which is kind of a lot. So I went on 30 first dates, and, I thought just because crunching a ton of numbers, just meeting a lot of people, I would have to meet someone who really fits with me. And so I went on all these first dates, and I even found a lot of people I liked. But nothing really came of it, even though I went on that many dates. A friend of mine went on 100 dates. She did and didn't find anyone. But it's because it's not really about the numbers. So then I had, this internal shift inside me. I started, feeling and conditioning myself and getting ready for what I wanted on the inside, right? I started getting ready. And when I did, after that, it only took one date, and then something came of it, as opposed to I probably could have gone on 1,000 dates before and nothing would have come of it. And that's the thing. So when we start feeling more worthy, when we start feeling more positive, more hopeful, more excited, and we start positively expecting, things can really shift for us.
Absolutely. You have literally hit the nail with that one. It's all about I don't even know what to say. I didn't even know what to say with that answer. I was spot on. It's all about how you feel on the inside before you can even begin talking to somebody. And you said back in middle school, in high school you didn't know what to say to people. That happened to me like 3 nights ago. I saw an influencer and I was like, oh my God, you're so cool. And I had no idea what to say. So definitely relate. We could definitely relate.
Right.
You often touch upon like romance. I know that you use the word romance a lot on your social platforms and things like that. And you know, do you feel like in a sense romance is dead, or what are your thoughts on romance? Are you working with anything? Kind of just the word. I think of you and then I just think of the word romance. So
thank you.
No, definitely.
Yeah, I like the word romance. You know, I think I'm still quite a romantic, and I think romance is more alive than ever before, and I think it should be, and it'll continue to grow. You know, sometimes it's easy to get jaded and so forth, and I find a lot of people are in kind of a funny position. They'll feel like romance is dead, and they won't. You know, they'll feel like, oh, you know, there's no one around and I won't find you. Well, a lot of people get this sort of down on themselves thing, and they're like, oh, I never meet anybody or whatever. But then they just like stay at home watching Netflix for like a month straight. You know, somebody's probably not gonna like knock on your door. And if some cute guy did come, you know, or cute woman did come and knock on your door, you'd probably be freaked out and shut the door on them. You know? You're like, no, oh, my car broke down up the road. Yeah. So, I mean, if you don't expect anything to happen, it won't. It won't. And, but if you expect romance to thrive, oh, it will. It will and it can. Yeah, because the creative ways that we can create romance in our life is so wide open. But we have to start creating that romance in ourselves. We got to start creating that romantic feeling. You know, you got to get that going. It's almost like when you like push start a car, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
attitude.
To get it going, you got to get it going in yourself, and then it starts happening outside of you. So, yeah, that's what I'm passionate about.
No, definitely. And I feel romance is huge. It's huge. Yeah,
and romance is very much alive in my Facebook group, the Romance Academy with Zachariah Bourne, you know, which you're a part of too. And romance is alive for my clients, definitely, of course, you know.
They are. I never see. I swear to you, I go on your Facebook page. If you guys aren't in that group, you need to get in that group like ASAP. And I just see so much love everywhere that I kind of get overwhelmed. I'm like, hold on.
We're really lucky. We're really lucky. Yeah, it's really a special community, and definitely you guys can join it. The Romance Academy with Zachariah Bourne. Come be a part of it. Introduce yourself. Yeah, we love having new people. We're doing exciting stuff in there. We got, you know, all kinds of new videos in there, a lot of interaction, and helping people with their romance in their life.
Totally. And it's a community. It's an actual community. Like, I know some people are like, join my Facebook group, and nobody ever talks. The minute that you put a video up, it's like the world like just answers you. Like, oh, hey Zach, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm super blessed. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you very much. And you're such an incredible addition to it. Yeah.
Thanks. Is there anything like exciting, like anything fun that's going on, or something cool that we can look forward to in your Facebook group or just in general?
Yeah, so I have an upcoming workshop, webinar, or whatever you'd like to call it. It's an online live workshop you can check out. Yeah, maybe we can put the link below this podcast.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's called The 2 Pillars of Romance. I'm super excited about it, but putting a lot of love into it. I think it's going to help a lot of people. And the cool thing about this webinar is I realized, because when you know, I get to talk with so many people and hear their problems with dating, and I realized that there's about 2 pillars that will solve 95% of people's problems. I believe. Yeah, I'm serious. I think it's just 2 things. These 2 pillars of romance. And the cool thing is it helps you so much in other areas of your life. And that's what I think is actually kind of exciting about what I love doing is people come to me for romance, or they come and they pay me, or they work with me for romance. I really believe they end up getting something so much better. You know, you get personal transformation, a lot more happiness, and a lot more success in your life, because you really have to become that right person to attract the right person. So a lot of the work impacts other parts of your life even more, because it impacts all these other areas as well, not just your romantic life. So which I think is really exciting. Yeah. So these two pillars that it comes down to. So like a lot of the major issues that people have is like they're not getting enough attraction, or they're not being treated the way they want to be, or they can get attraction but people don't stick around. Dating for them doesn't feel fun, or they're not getting like the dedication they want. All of those things can be solved with these two major pillars. And so I think it's really exciting. The two major pillars are positivity and self-worth. And it's something you hear a lot, but we don't see like how it applies. So I don't know if I should give an example. I can give an example real quick.
Just a tiny one. Just give them like a small preview.
All right, small preview. So say you're not getting enough attraction, right? So say somebody's like not getting enough attraction. The thing to really get more attraction is self-worth, right? Okay. Do you have any celebrity crushes?
Idris Elba.
Well, that's actually a really perfect one. That's a really perfect one. So he's actually named like People's Magazine's sexiest man right now. So I was like looking up like the top 10 sexiest men or whatever rated, and he's like at the top of the list, which I think is great. But you know, I cannot name a person with like more self-worth than him. You can just see it, just like rating him. He has this strength inside of him, right? The self-worth is just crazy high. And I noticed all the top 10 guys on the sexiest list all do. It was like Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman. It's like all these people with just insane amounts of self-worth. And think about, even to be a celebrity, to have that level of success, you have to have a tremendous amount of self-worth too. And so that's the unifying factor between all the people in this top 10 is tremendous amounts of self-worth. And so I think it just really proves in a lot of ways that that's really where that comes from. I even had a family member very close to me, and she could get guys left and right, no problem, left and right. And she didn't have any of the traditional things that people think that they, would want. She's not she's not like outrageously attractive. She's not super successful at all. She doesn't, dress super well. She doesn't have any of the real factors that people think that they need to have to attract people. But man, she gets guys left and right. And, but one thing she does have, she has tremendous self-worth, and it's not backed up by anything. It's not backed up by anything. There's nothing in her life that's obvious to make her be like, oh, this is the reason she has it. But she just has it. And people are attracted to it like, moths to a flame. It's pretty amazing. So yeah. So anyway, that's a little example.
You just dropped a gem, and anybody listening right now, if you guys didn't hear that, go back and listen to it again, because if you don't have self-worth for literally anything, I feel as though it's not going to work out. Even that cousin of yours that doesn't have anything to offer, but she's confident that she does, flocks of guys. So same thing with business and everything else. Mm-hmm. I want to ask you this. I asked this to all the guests on the AFH platform. What is something that you wish you spent less time
on? So in general, or in general, something that I spent less time on. Well, something I wish I spent less time on is not feeling good. I want to spend more time feeling as good as possible. So I think that would be my thing.
That would be it. That would be mine too. I just, no, I don't want to feel like this. definitely, I wish I spent less time on a lot of things, but that's like another episode that I can do probably and
Yeah. Yeah.
talk for days about it. But,
Yeah.
you know, hear that, like, you give advice to so many people. You're a dating coach, personal development. You have this really cool webinar. You're
Thank you.
like total like hashtag goals. What what has been the best advice that you've been given? Like something that has stuck with you throughout the years, and you find yourself saying it time and time again. But sometimes you change a word or two, but still the message is the same.
You know what? I think the biggest and best advice, I mean, you hear it a lot, but I mean, how many people actually go out and just do this? And that is to really put your happiness first, and to really make your happiness the most important thing, but really just to feel good as much as you can. Just really make your main focus every morning you wake up, whatever you're doing, to just feel as good as possible, because I think that's just, it's the biggest transformation out of anything in this universe that can be done to a human, is to just feel as good as possible, because it just helps you in every area of your life. It helps you be more successful. It makes your life better. It makes you your relationships much better. It brings much better circumstances into your life in every way. It just makes everything better. So, and plus you just feel better. It's so much, doesn't it just feel good to feel good? It's just better. Your life is enhanced, like, to such a deep degree. And so, yeah, just really choosing to be happy, like, you know, deliberately choosing your thoughts to feel better and better and better and better every moment, all the time. Developing that skill is the best thing you can do as a human, I think. Yeah.
Is just choose happiness despite it all, and just keep going. Like, just choose happiness. I'm a firm believer in that. Like, I think the whole entire podcast, we're going to listen to it later, and I'm just going to be praising you the whole time. I'm your biggest fan.
Oh, thank you.
I really am. And,
thank you so much. Well, you know, you're the best, though. You're the best. You really exemplify a lot of this, and that's why it's always kind of an honor to be on something with you. So I really love doing that.
This is super fun. And before I let you go, I have to ask, is there something that you wish I asked you during this interview, our little chit chat here? Is there anything that you're like, man, Hanna should ask me this? Is there anything that comes to mind, or anything that you want to just talk about that's on your mind today?
Yeah, you should ask me when I'm going to be on next.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a huge miss there. Why you haven't asked me about it yet?
You know what? You have made the host laugh.
Thank you.
That is huge right now. You've been the only person that made me laugh. But
good, yeah.
This house is yours. You're always welcome back on AFH. You can come back anytime that you like. I already have like 2 other episodes that I want to talk to you about something. So you will definitely, and God knows where you're going to be in the world. But I'll track you down.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I really loved being here. I'm very appreciative. Thank you so much.
No, that was way too funny. When am I going to be on again? When are you going to launch a podcast? You need to get on this platform. I really think you, out of everyone, would have such a blast on here. Just talking with like your clients. I have a good friend that she does coaching calls as podcasts. Obviously, she takes out, confidential information and things like that. But she does her sessions on a podcast, which is really cool. Really interesting.
I think it's a really cool idea.
Definitely, you heard it here first. I'm planting the podcast seed into everyone that I talk to, just because I think it's so fun. But this is super cool. I will definitely have you back on. The webinar that you're having in the next couple days, I will link it in the bio. I really enjoyed having you on here. I keep saying that. And if there's somebody out there that's right now feeling like super lonely, or is feeling like they're not able to find a mate, what would be something that you would say to them to kind of reach out? I always end all my podcasts saying, if nobody's told you I love you today, but what is something that maybe somebody out there that's not feeling loved, what would you like to say to them?
Yeah, and this is something I've been thinking about lately, too, and I really kind of want to shine a light on this, because I think a lot of people feel that where they are right now, they feel like that's where they're always going to be. You get that kind of hopeless feeling. I remember I really felt that way. I remember growing up and being super depressed, and
Yeah.
I really didn't think that things were really going to turn around for me, but they really can turn around for anyone, and they will. And not only can they turn around, but you really can thrive no matter who you are, no matter how bad things have been or are. You really can thrive. Things can be so good for you. Really, any human, no matter what the circumstance they're in right now, things can be so wonderful for you. And I really believe that. And it just starts with us. It starts with us, starting to change the way we think about it, starting to maybe feel a little more hopeful, and start changing our thoughts. And it's incremental. We're going to have ups and down days for sure. We're going to have these huge crashes sometimes, but things can be so much better than you can imagine. And I just want to say that to everybody and encourage them to that.
That is a mic drop. I have absolutely nothing to say after what you just said, because I think you're just awesome sauce. Thank you so much for coming into the space. We really enjoy having you here, and we will definitely do a couple more podcasts in the very near future. I hope you have a pleasant day. Everyone, thank you so much for listening to us. I'm going to link all his contact information below in the bio. His Facebook group is phenomenal. It's the best one I'm in, and he's not telling me to say this. I do not lie on this platform.
Thank you.
He's super responsive on Instagram, so if you guys want to send him a quick DM, tell him hi. He answers. He even answers silly old me, so he'll answer you.
Oh. And I do one-on-one coaching as well, if anyone's looking for that specifically.
Yeah, please hit him up. If you're, it's summertime's coming up, and in 7-8 months it's Christmas time all over again, and you're going to be partner list again at dinner. You need to reach out to him. I know it's the anxiety. I get it. I hear it all the time. I don't even know what my husband's gonna wear for Christmas. Look what I'm thinking about right now. So
ugly sweater.
Right. I just tell him, just wear this and don't ask questions.
Probably for the best.
He's learned. You're 9.
Yeah.
He's learned. Just don't ask any questions. Zach, thanks so much for being on here.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Take care.